A real estate transaction is potentially the largest investment we make in our lives. Whether you're buying and selling your personal home or investing in real estate, you need the knowledge to make the right decisions. Get ready. Robin is a Texas realtor and has the experience to give you the information you need to make the right decisions. Welcome to Relax, I Got This with your host, Robin McCoy.
Hi, and thanks for joining me today. I'm on a solo conversation here today with everyone, and I want to talk about the senior living transition. So, if for those that actually follow me on the socials and know me in the real world, you know that I went through a lot of things with my mom. My mom is aging it, and she is in overall good health at 87, with the exception of she lost her ability to walk last fall, and we had a lot that went on in a short amount of time that caused us to scramble a lot. There was some anger, there was some tears, there was some frustration, there was some feelings of helplessness and sometimes hopelessness and uncertainty and all of those things that go along with something like this. And I want to start sharing some of my experiences, some of the things I learned, and some of the things that I can do as a realtor to help make this transition easier, whether it is for the senior person themselves or for their adult children that are there to help and support them. So this is it's a big deal. It really is just a big deal. And I have been on a quest ever since we got my mother settled in with just learning how to educate people. Because I learned so much. And I know that if my mother had not had myself and my sister, she would not have been able to navigate all of this on her own. So I am pretty sure that most 87-year-old people, if they don't have any adult children or don't have anybody close by or someone that truly cares about them to help get them where they need to be, to get the care and the support and all those things that they need, if they don't have someone right here with them to do that, they are going to just end up in some of the wrong positions in the wrong places. And that is heartbreaking to me. It is heartbreaking to me. So I and my sister, we were very, very fortunate that both of us were here in Dallas at the time. So that was helpful. Two, that we have resources. I know so many people in Dallas in so many different industries. And if you flip over to my sister podcast called Crushing with Your Tribe, you will see several interviews, and we'll get them linked in here somehow, several interviews with my friends and my colleagues that work in this industry, that own senior care homes, that own assisted living and home health companies, that work with companies that place seniors. They do all the legwork and the research and all of that for the assisted living communities that oftentimes we as older people need to go move into. And while recommendations are great, things change. So I just want to go through just a few of these that will just kind of help some of the challenging decisions that seniors and their loved ones, their adult children or other loved ones tend to go through. And we want to make sure that in this transitional period, that we're thinking about all of the things, right? And we want to think about all these things prior to it becoming urgent. And while my sister and I thought we had done that, we tried to do it years before and mom refused. And then all of a sudden we started talking about it and then it became urgent and we had to make some quick decisions and pivot a lot and come up with options that we never thought we would have to. So that being said, I just want to share the different types in this little show here. I just want to share the different types of maybe senior transition as we get older and what people might want to start thinking about. And everybody is going to be different. I want to stress that everybody's individual needs are different. Their budget is different. What they enjoy, what they need, what they don't need, all of those things are different. And all of those are going to be very unique to the individual. So first, we have just aging in place, right? You've been in your house for years and years and years, and it's fine. You just need to make some accommodations, right? Maybe you need to put grab bars in the shower. Maybe you need to convert a tub into a walk-in shower with a seat. Maybe you need higher toilets and lower sinks. Maybe you need a ramp instead of steps to get into your home. Maybe you need just a variety of different things. We need to take up the carpet and put in laminate flooring. We need to lower everything in the kitchen, maybe, because you shouldn't be climbing on step ladders anymore because you could fall, and those sorts of things. So I actually have a team within, my real estate team that helps with that, that can come into your home, and between you and them and me, and we can talk about what your needs are to best enable you to age in place, at least as long as you can, right? We certainly, houses are paid for. We don't want to incur too many more expenses, but we do want to be safe in our homes as we age. And as sadly, and as much as we don't want to admit it, our balance can suffer, and our eating habits can suffer, and just our daily needs can change. So aging in place is a wonderful opportunity for as long as we are able to do that. And we sometimes just need a few accommodations to make sure that we can do that happily and safely, right? Secondly, maybe it's assisting the heirs in a property that someone has passed away, right? And maybe there is still a living spouse that is in the home. Any number of different things in that scenario can happen. Two people together can often, when we're seniors, can often live better than one person alone. So maybe one partner dies and the other one can no longer live safely and happily in that home. So we need to do some things, right? We need to downsize, right? Ultimately, that's really what it comes to, is downsizing. Or the single elderly person has passed away, and I'm just going to say it, old folks like to hang on to stuff, and especially these days, if the folks that are in their 80s, it's generational, is what I have found, between my parents, my in-laws, and just clients that have been in their 80s when they passed. They tend to have a lot of things. There are things that they have held on to because they grew up in a time where you didn't throw things away, and oftentimes they didn't have a lot. So these are milestones for them. My mother insisted we keep her dining table and 8 chairs. So we've rented a storage unit to put those in, because she insisted that we keep that because she might need it again, and that's very important to her. So we're going to hang on to it. In other situations, it all just needs to go in one way or another, whether it's donated, whether it's just junked, variety of different things. So we can take care of that as well. And sometimes it doesn't pay to renovate a house to sell it, or a condo or a townhome or whatever that structure is that they were living in. Sometimes it just is best to
be the leader you know you can be. Build your professional network and access education that takes you where you want to go. We are women of all ages and backgrounds. You deserve national recognition and opportunities to build relationships with people you want to work and grow with. Hit the ground running with the Charisma chapter of the American Business Women's Association. Meetings each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on the 4th Tuesday in Farmers Branch, Texas, and online. Come with us. Experience ABWA for yourself. Go to charisma.abwa.org to learn more.
Sometimes it just is best to sell it to an investor and let them do the work, and you get to step away from it. Because sometimes the memories are hard. Sometimes the timing is hard. Sometimes, maybe those adult children or you, the heir, are not in town. We've had a couple in the last month that both of those executors of the will were in cities in Texas that were not close, a minimum of 2 to 3 hours away. And that makes it difficult. So, we have guided people through these things about what we can do given their situation with their deceased parent, with the parent that, is living, and how can we help navigate that next phase for that loved one. Some of it comes with the downsizing, right? So now we're moving from anywhere between 2 and 4 or 5,000 square feet down into maybe an apartment or an independent living or an assisted living. And these apartments are about 400 square feet. You get a small living room, you get a bedroom and a bathroom, and that is about it. And our seniors, and whether that's, again, you or your parents, Our seniors have a hard time letting go of things. They really do. And we have people on our staff that know how to work with this. And we learn where they're going and how to best lay it out and what are the important things for them to keep. And then we can get that person moved and then deal with the house and deal with all the other things so that they aren't having to go through it. Sometimes it's very difficult for us as the adult children to go through these things with our parents because we don't understand why they want to keep this one thing. Why do you want to keep that? Well, a little girl gave that to me. Well, that's great, but it wasn't me and my sister, so you don't, whatever. But that's what they do, and they want to hang on to these things, and it takes too long, and then it just takes too long. So sometimes it's gentler to move them with the things they love and that are most important to them, and then take care of the rest. And doing that is a whole other project. And so you want to make sure you're working with people that you trust, that have you and your loved ones' best interest in mind, and that will truly care about care about the process, really. And sometimes it's finding the right senior community, right? So I mentioned at the beginning of this that there are so many. And yes, we go to Facebook and we ask our friends, where did your mother live? Did she like it? Well, and that's great. And those are important opinions. But it's also important to know that, your friend's mother, she lived there 5 years ago, or her needs were different. Maybe she could stand on her own. Maybe she could walk on her own, and your parent can't. So that is going to make things different. It's going to be different as to what she or he can do and where they live. Also, administrations in these independent living, as well as assisted living, all of these, typically the administration will change, especially in the big chains, Brookdale, Legends. I'm not calling any of those out in any way other than those are the names of ones that are at the top of my head. But they're nationwide companies and their administration can turn over. So you had one administrator that was really great and everything was great when your friend's mom was there, but that person has moved on and now they've got somebody brand new that may or may not be as good, right? Who knows? So the environment can be different than what your friends experience. So what you want to do is you want to hire someone, and you don't hire them in that you pay them. You engage the services, they're paid elsewhere, but not by you, who study the assisted living places or the memory care places. They know the rules, they know the administration. They are in those communities weekly, monthly, as often, so that they can see and they see and they understand and they know the questions to ask. And then they sit down with you and they say, okay, what are the needs that you have? What are, can you walk? Can you pivot? Dietary, medications, memory, dementia, any of these things that you or your loved one currently have, or what your goals are as to where you're going. Those are all a part of where you choose to move to. And it is so overwhelming. You've got costs and levels of care, and you've got, so many things, and you need the person that knows those. What are your requirements? Do you want your loved one within 5 minutes of you, or is an hour from you okay? Or the different, what is your budget? Do you have $5,000 a month? Do you have $10,000 a month? Because they can run up as much as $10,000 a month or more, depending on the care required. So it's just, we have a company that we work with. She helped me with my mother. She listened to me cry. She gave me knowledge. She gave me information. She gave me guidance. And that was huge. So make sure you're engaging the services of a senior location specialist. And we have some recommendations on that as well. These are just some of the things that I ran across and I continue to run across in my business. It has become very important to me to make this transition to senior living as smooth and stress-free for the family as a whole, whether it's one person, two people, or 25 people, as with peace of mind, with confidence that you're making the right decisions. Because I'm going to tell you, your confidence goes right out the window. What you think you don't know. What some people may tell you may not be right, or not right for you, or based on where we are in the progression of things, what makes the most sense. And I know so much more now today than I did in September of 23. So in September of last year, I know so much more than I did. And I know the questions to ask, and I know the people to go to, because they literally saved me. So as I go through, and I'm going to, do more of these little episodes where sometimes I'll interview people and sometimes I won't. But when it comes to real estate and the dealing with not only the property, but the things inside and the loved one, there's a lot that goes to it. And I want to be that resource for the seniors and their families to make that as smooth as possible. So when it does come time to sell the family home or the home that they're in, that is one of the easier things to do, because mom or dad is already settled. They're happy. They're comfortable. Everybody's gotten the memories that they wanted from the home. And now we can take that home, make decisions on what the end goal with that home may be. So that's just kind of a highlight on some of the different things I'm going to link up the videos and the podcast shows that we've done, the episodes we've done with Carol Thomas, with Kimberly Truax, with Pat Nixon, with, just all these folks that kind of pulled me out of my desperation and put me on the right path, so my sister and I could make the right decisions for my mother. And while she will tell you she can make all her own decisions, she needed some help, and she still does. And I am forever grateful that she does not have memory issues and dementia and Alzheimer's and all those things. She just can't walk. I say if she could walk, she'd be killing it at 87. So I am here as a resource. Please don't hesitate to reach out, and hopefully I'll be able to hit on some of these things that can be of service to you, and I can guide you to the right people that can also help you get to your end goal. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to Relax, I Got This, and stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for Relax, I Got This with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and her guests, and to access your free buyer and seller guides. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Relax, I Got This with Robin McCoy.